All right, we finally got our 95 overall team builders. In this video, we are going to break down those new 95 overall team builders. There are 4 of them, and we're going to break them down in terms of what cards you should go out and make, because these are pretty big, important decisions for you because they're extremely expensive to make. I need to be clear here. This is all going to be based on context. I don't want to be like, this card is better than this one, this card is better than this one, because I think that it's just stupid and ill-advised for me to tell you guys that. I think this is all going to come down depending on what other cards you have, because, you know, they're very, very expensive to make. All right, let's get into it. All right, guys, so before we get into all of the cards, understand that to make one of them, it is about 800,000 coins. It requires 2 92 overall cards. It does not matter which two to make one of these new 95 overall. So you have to keep that in mind because they are a substantial investment, especially right now because cards are going to skyrocket in price because everyone is trying to make these, all right? So if you had all of the 92 overall team builder cards, you'd be one short, or you'd be 292 overall short to make one of the 95. So I'm going to talk about it from the God Squad standpoint as well as the no money spent standpoint, because a lot of people, like my no money spent team, it's going to take 2 of the best cards you have in your lineup to make 195, and I think that's a very, very important decision you have to make. So first, we'll take a look at the cards. We've got the 6'5", 231 Jeff Bukaboom with Distributor as well as Buzzing, and then you want to go Magician as the last one. And this is one of, if not the best right-handed defenseman in the game. That is not a fantasy card, and even better than most fantasy cards, everything around that. Jeff Bukaboom at 6'5", 231 with Gold Truculence is just unstoppable. That is an end game build, no matter what. Even if you know, he doesn't get any faster and there's other 99 cards out there, being 6'5" with Truculence is wild. Then you've got Shutdown, Bouncer, Quick Pick, and 1T. I think 1T as well as Shutdown. I think Shutdown on this card after Gold Truculence is probably not needed, so you really just have to spend 6 ability points in here. You've got 99 body checking, 98 defensive awareness, and 94 acceleration, 93 speed. However, the only thing I will say on him, the knock, is that he is not, in terms of attributes, not that much better than Brent Seabrook. And obviously, if you're going to trade in Brent Seabrook for him, plus another 92, that's very, very expensive to go from Seabrook to Bukaboom, because Seabrook has been very, very good. That's not to say that Bukaboom's not far better. It's just, it's not that big of a jump, not that huge, huge jump. So still one of the best cards, in my opinion. I think might be the best right-handed defenseman in the game. Moving on to Jay Bouwmeester, 6'4", 206. This is a slightly bigger version of Jake Gardner, and Gardner's been incredible. He's got gold elite edges, no contest, seeing eye, shutdown, stick him up. So no truculence there, but he does have shutdown and stick him up, and he's got 95 speed, 96 acceleration, 99 agility, so a little bit faster. This is essentially a 6'4" version of Cale Makar with just slightly slower speed. His shot's great, defensive awareness is 99, body checking is at 93. An extremely good card, and again, this is all going to come down to context. If you just made Jake Sanderson, you know, you've got Team of the Year Roman Josi, the improvement from those cards might not be nearly as high, or maybe if you have Jake Gardner still. I don't know if you're going to see that big of an improvement from him. This is still, again, one of the best cards of the position, and if you have fantasy cards, you know, that's going to change it as well, but for a lot of us, we don't. I think Jay Bouwmeester would be my number 4 in terms of just in a vacuum. Again, not saying he's bad, and I haven't done my rankings yet, and I want to use all these cards first before I give you that, but I don't think Jay Bouwmeester would be the one I would pick over all of them. If I was able to make 3, I think Jay Bouwmeester would be the one I would leave out. Then we've got the 95 overall Bobby Holik. This is your Jay Beagle replacement. He's got Workhorse as well as Spark and Buzzing, and then he's got Booming Shot or Gladiator, and then Magician as the last one. Also note, he's got double the synergies too, which is important now. He's got Gold Quick Draw, Big Tipper, Close Quarters, Truculence, and No Contest. Honestly, at 6'4" with 96 body checking, you don't really need Truculence on a forward. He's got Gold Quick Draw, and then Silver Close Quarters. So, like, that's a huge combo, and Beagle just had Gold Quick Draw, essentially, but he felt so much better than his attribute. Bobby Holik is 6'4", so slightly bigger. He's got 94 speed, 95 acceleration, a mid-90s shot, body checking at 96, face-offs at 99, defensive awareness at 99, stick checking 99. This is one of the best centermen in the game, if not the best one. Now, again, the issue is going to come down to context. If you have Bobby Holik and one other card, then I think you have to make Bobby Holik in that situation because you're going to lose Jay Beagle. There is not a extremely cheap replacement for Jay Beagle, in my opinion. The only one that I think would come close that is achievable or obtainable would be, like, Tyler Sagan's All-Star card, who's turned out to be very good, but I still don't think it's anywhere close because Beagle's card has just been so good. He's better than the stats indicate. But I think in that situation where you have Jay Beagle and one other team builder, if you're going to make one, I think you got to replace the number one center in the game. And then lastly, we've got the 95 Jaromir Jagr, 6'3", 230. This, in my opinion, again, in a vacuum, is the best card out of all of these four. He's got 96 speed, 96 acceleration, only 93 agility, but he's got silver elite edges. Combine that with the fact he's got gold unstoppable force, and if you just wanted to run unstoppable force in close quarters, you've got kind of the best combo of abilities that you can have. His shot is in the high 90s. Hand stats are essentially maxed out, and he's got 99 defensive awareness, stick checking, and 91 body checking. I think, and not to mention he's 6'3", 230. I think right now he's better than Connor McDavid's Team of the Season card, and I think he's the number one left-handed winger right now. So if, I had a choice and there was no other comparisons, nothing like that, Jaromir Jagr is probably the one I would make. However, there isn't any lineup flexibility. At least with Bobby O'League, let's say you don't want to run him on center for whatever reason, you could put him on the wing. Jaromir Jagr is going to be a left-handed winger, so you have to take that into account as well. But I think that, again, all of these are extremely incredible cards. Now, I know I'm going to get this question in terms of which ones or which division should you focus on when making these cards, because you're going to have to make 2 more 92s if you want all 4 of them. Let's say you started the game late and you haven't made one. All of them are going to be expensive. Right now, it is going to be extremely expensive to make them. Here is what I would do. I would periodically search for any cards that are under 1,000, and then for the 80 and 82s and above, 1,500 and lower. That's going to kind of keep your costs down a little bit, but it is going to be extremely difficult, and there's going to be some teams where there's 5,000 per card. I think the Tampa Bay Lightning off the top of my head are usually always very expensive. So again, just something to keep in mind. It's going to take you a long time to work at it. If you are no money spent and you want to work towards building one, take untradeable rivals rewards until you're pretty close. And let's say you only need a couple more teams, you probably want to take tradable at that point and then just try and buy the remaining cards up. But it is going to be very, very expensive. Another thing I want you guys to remember when adding, there is a kind of broken feature in this game that's still in the game. If you go to autofill, and let's say you have all 25 cards needed, it will put your 80 and above cards in the 74 plus overall slot first. So what you want to do is go to 74 plus, go to search collection, and then manually select the 15 cards that you need so that they go in there first. Because if you don't, then the higher overall cards are going to go in there, and it'll say that you still have some of the 81s that you need to buy when you probably don't. So just make sure you're taking notice of that, because it would suck if you had to buy cards that you didn't really need to again. Also, guys, if you want to see them all side by side, you can go to my website, www.leaguegaming.com/HutHub, and you can do the 4 compare cards side by side, and if you want, change all the synergies that you want, and you can take a look at them side by side. In terms of just skating right off the rip, in terms of in total attributes inside of skating, Bouwmeester actually has the most, and he's a very, very good card, but like I said, it's all going to come down to context. But again, the link for my website is down below, so go ahead and check that out if you want. So for anyone wondering, this is how my team is shaping up right now. I'm probably going to put Holik up above Stützle just because of his size. I just wanted to try him out there. So we're going to have Holik and Jagr. I think this is an unbelievable pairing and combo. When it comes to cards you have to trade in, like I said, if you were going to have Beagle involved at all, I think you have to go Bobby Holik. So just remember that. He is just an unbelievable build. He's got 99 on the faceoffs, gold quick draw. You can throw close quarters on him, 94 speed, 95 acceleration, and 6'4". So all in all, just an extremely good card. If you can make 2, I think that there's actually enough defensemen that have gold truculence. I mean, Sanderson is one, as well as Weber, that kind of nullify or help bridge the gap between the team builders and those defensemen. So I think that's a little bit more viable. There really isn't a card like Jaromir Jagr at all who's just that big with very good skating and those abilities. So, like I said, in my opinion, if you can only make 2, I'd probably go both of the forwards. But Bookeboom, again, if you don't have Weber and you don't have Makar, then I would probably make Bookeboom. It's all going to be context-based. I'll have a more in-depth video that will go over rankings and gameplay with these cards as well, guys, in just a little bit. But I just want to throw this out here today and help you guys out, make your decision. If you wanted to make in and rush right in, this is how I would do it. So, guys, let me know who you chose in the comments section down below, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.